Warmer weather is on the horizon. We are thankful for that.
Yes.
But with this, more of us will be finding ourselves outside.
We have so many opportunities in our area to get outdoors and do a lot of activities like hiking, camping, water sports, but it's important to be prepared in case something goes wrong.
So here to give us some safety tips is Dr. Seth Hawkins, an emergency medicine physician at Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist. Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Good morning. Thank you so much for letting me be on the show.
Absolutely. Sure. So let's start off with, we're not quite there into the high heat temperatures yet, but of course they're coming soon. What should people know to protect themselves in that?
Yeah, you're going to blink and we're going to be back into those boiling summer days. And even in the spring, it can get really hot in North Carolina. Really important to remember to protect yourself from the sun. We need sun for vitamin D, but also it can cause cancer and radiation and heat illness. So wearing a hat and protective clothing will be important. Wearing sunscreen is really important. And a real critical element is hydration and knowing when you've gone too far or need to hydrate to keep your outdoor adventures going.
Dr. Hawkins, staying on the topic of heat, let's talk about the difference between heat exhaustion and heat stroke.
Yeah, this is a very critical distinction. So heat exhaustion, many of us have probably experienced. You get nauseous, tired, you can get dizzy, sometimes you can get heat cramps or weakness. All those are signs that your body has been out in the sun or the heat too long and you need to take a break and hydrate and maybe call it a day. That's a more minor situation that can be treated with first aid. Heat stroke is a true medical emergency where your body temperature starts to rise in an uncontrolled way and literally your brain can start to cook, which is a really scary concept. And the elements that appear with that are more like stroke. So you can get severe confusion, agitation, you can even get seizures, stroke-like symptoms like not being able to move a body part or be able to speak. That needs to be addressed immediately with rapid immersion and cold water, or anything that can bring that body temperature down, and calling 911 immediately because it is a time-sensitive emergency.
Thank you for going over those important reminders, Dr. Hawkins. Now, for hikers and campers, you mentioned that's a very popular activity this time of year. What are some common injuries that you see with those and the safety items you suggest people carry?
Yeah, so I'm also medical director for North Carolina State Parks. Really encourage people to get out into our state parks, our federal open areas, and all the green spaces that we have. And really, as you'd expect, strains, sprains, falls are very common injuries in those spaces. In bodies of water, we're concerned about submersion injuries like drowning or other dangers from being in the water, which is a common cause of injury in these open spaces, and then bites and stings from the animals that we share these spaces with.
Speaking of, what is the best way to treat a bee sting if you're outdoors?
Yeah, little known fact that bees and their siblings and cousins are actually the most dangerous animals for us. We think about wolves and bears and tigers, maybe not so much in North Carolina, but in fact, bees, because of allergic reactions, are exceptionally dangerous. So the first thing is just treating the site where you've been stung, and that would involve getting the stinger out, ideally with like a credit card or something that wouldn't inject more of the material into your body, and there's good YouTube videos and things to see how to do that. Cleaning the site with soapy water just to make sure you don't get any infection at that site. And then applying a cold pack just to reduce swelling and pain. And really, cold packs can be remarkable also for controlling the pain from a bee sting. But the really, really dangerous element and the thing that might end up in my emergency department or one of my colleagues is a life-threatening allergic reaction. So if there's shortness of breath or a rash over the whole body or nausea or vomiting after a bee sting, again, that's a medical emergency that's going to need care from a healthcare professional. And many people now are even carrying injectable epinephrine, which is a prescription drug, to treat those emergencies.
Really quickly, Dr. Hawkins, why do children or older adults need some special attention this time of year?
Yeah, I think these groups are really important to get outside. They can both benefit hugely from all the wonders of the outdoors. But both of them are also groups that might need to be watched more closely. They might have more difficulty telling us when they're not feeling well. They may need to have their activities scaled back based on their abilities at either extremes of age. And then some of those age groups can be more susceptible to heat or dehydration. Some of our older participants might be on medications that compromise their ability to do well in the heat, or they might need more water hydration. So a little extra attention to those groups, but boy, it's important to get them out as well.
It was great to have you on our show, Dr. Hawkins. Thank you so much for your time. And for everyone at home, if you missed any of those tips, we'll have this full segment posted on triadcw.com.